Hey, welcome everyone to the I'll Be Living Life podcast. If you like my channel and you haven't subscribed yet, kindly support me by hitting the subscribe, notification, and like buttons. I've had many of my followers ask me for tips, and maybe I figured I'd do a refresher here. And I have my special guest co-host today, Alma, joining me as we just recently recorded one of the episodes where I promote her. So welcome again, Alma.
Thank you, Al.
All
Hello,
right.
everybody.
So she's going to be co-hosting. She's going to be asking questions. She's going to probably offer some of her advice as well. So I'm going to get started here. First things first is, so make your account public.
For sure.
Yeah, that's the one easy tip that everyone should know. If it's a private account, you're not going to really grow unless someone's looking, and sees you. And
Yes, I'll be honest with you. If someone follows me, I will not follow them back if it's a private account. I just won't, because I can't see what I'm getting into.
That's true.
So I never do, unless I know them.
Yeah. Something that Alma would do. And for me, I would normally follow back. And then when I actually get access into that private account, and if I don't like anything, but if they're supporting me, I would stay on. Next thing you know, they follow me and I follow them back, and it's some Bitcoin turkey or something like that. There's no way I'm going to follow them. I usually block them off.
Yes, I've been blocking a lot of those lately too.
Yeah.
I mean, I had 3 last night just on one post. I was like, oh, please.
Yeah. I get a lot of those coffee mug ones. I get a lot of those sugar daddy things. I get a lot of those.
Well, I want the sugar daddy ones. What are you send them my way.
Yeah, I'll forward them to you next time, okay?
Thanks.
And then the cryptocurrency, I get a lot of that as well. So I've been blocking as much as I can for those ones. Yeah.
The coffee ones have been coming in a lot. So.
Oh, that one's ridiculous, because I was just talking with Ashley about this. What they would try to do is they get you to buy one of their coffee mugs, and then they'll post you up that way. So you have to spend money. But then Ashley was kind of funny, because she would just put a random kind of a message or response back, and it's all robots, right? It's so weird.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's funny. That's good to do.
Yeah. So the next one I want to say is your profile pic. I think I always say you need to have your picture on there. It should be a nice smiling picture of you, something inviting, and that's kind of where I kind of recommended to everyone a long time ago, that your profile pic needs to be the one that sells you.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah.
I hired a model to act as me. So she was like super.
Right.
Oh, look, you or me.
Yeah.
And I may have to post some other pictures of you later, so just be prepared.
Yeah, just smile, okay?
So a good picture is always, you want to know who you're interacting with. So.
Yes, 100%. And that's what I said in a lot of my episodes before. It's like, you have to be, as nice as your pictures are that you're shooting, once in a blue moon, you got to put your mug up there. And it's just to build that connection with your followers.
Yeah, I think you recommended that to me, and then because I wouldn't do it.
Yes.
And then I started to do it maybe once a month or every couple of months.
Yeah.
I just did that, and it was because last month I got like 500 followers.
That's nice.
And it was insane, and I was like, well, none of these people know who I am, and I want to kind of check in, let them know who I am. And
Yep. It helps.
It was a great idea.
Yeah, it helps. You need to connect, and you need to have that a little bit of face recognition to the account sort of thing. But where I am, it's actually people can put a voice to the face kind of thing too. Yeah, at first I was telling everybody, I was like, oh geez, if I post a photo of me, I'm gonna lose some of my followers.
Stop. I was thinking the same thing. I was looking at the count. I'm like, if it starts dropping after I post a picture, I'm gonna feel really bad about myself.
Yeah. Okay, and the next one is handle names. So I would suggest something catchy, something that's, that you can recognize that person. I've known Alma since she started Instagram, so I know exactly when I see your name, I know who it is. But if it's someone that's out there that I kind of played a little word game with my name, where it's I'll Be Living Life. Albie's my nickname, but it sounds like will be living life. So that's kind of my trick, where have a catchy name, and then once people start seeing your name out there, they'll know it's you.
Yep, for sure. I'm not as catchy and creative with that part, but if I start a new account, I'll think about that for sure.
Yeah, but you have a unique name, so that's a little bit a benefit to you as well, because when I see Alma, it's you. So
yes, yeah.
Yep. So, okay, next one. Let's go hashtags. So I have lots and lots and lots of questions about hashtags. I say use all 30. You're allowed to use 30, so use all 30. And use 2 rather large ones. And when I'm saying large hashtags, I'm saying like accounts, postings of between 1 million to 2 million. And those are considered large because what happens is you're trying to land on their top 9. So when you hashtag something, you want to be on their front page. And if you don't land on their front page, that means you're not really getting promoted by them and no one's going to see your picture. So if you go and say you hashtag love or something, which is going to have millions and millions and millions of posts, your picture is going to go by in a heartbeat and then it's going to be gone. So no one will see it. You know what I mean? So if you go to 2 accounts that are in between 1 to 2 million, you just hope to land in their top 9, even in their top 20. Like you go after you post your picture, go back into your hashtag 2 hours later and see if you're actually on their page. If you're on their page, great. That means they're actually promoting you. But if you're not on their page, I would give them a few extra tries with future hashtags, and then if they're not promoting you, get rid of them. Change it up.
Okay. See, I was using the 30 hashtags, but I had not thought about the counts.
Yep.
Like you were saying. I'll definitely have to try that.
Yeah. So then use 2 that are large, and then about 26 of them, I would go medium. And medium is I would go anywhere from 200,000 to 1 million. So any of those, like you just find accounts in there, and it's really easy to find. You just go into Instagram and hit California or something like where you live, and then you'll see a whole bunch of California hashtags. Just go into them and take a look at how many posts they have, right? If they have millions, then you want to stay away from those ones. Okay. And you want to go, like if you want to pop one in there and give it a try and say, oh, I'm going to try this one that has 100 million posts. And if you land on there, you're laughing because you'll end up getting thousands of followers for that.
Oh, that's great. I'm going to have to try that.
Yeah.
But do a little bit of research.
But the chances of landing on one of those big hashtags are like next to none, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So that's why I always tell people do 2 large ones, and large ones are between 1 and 2 million. And then the medium size are from 200,000 to about 1 million posts. And then you want to use 2 small ones. So the 2 small ones are anywhere from, I don't know, 20K to about 200,000.
Okay.
And like that, with that being said as well, 2 hours later or halfway through your day or something, go back into the hashtags and look at it and see if you land on any of these guys' hashtag pages, right? If you're not landing on them, then it's, and you're using them time and time again, get rid of them.
Get rid of them.
Yeah.
Great advice, Al.
Yeah. So I think a lot of the hashtags, it is a tricky one because you should be alternating them. You should not use the same ones over and over and over again. Of course, you want to use hashtags that are relevant to your picture. I have it all saved on my phone in my notes. So I have like 30 for this picture, or I'll use 30 for something else. And then sometimes you think about it, like I'm sure with your shots of like the water or something, you could actually go into an older photo of yours like you did months ago and do an edit on it, go there and copy all your hashtags and then paste it onto your notes or whatever your iPhone has, and then paste it back up on your new photo because you haven't used it for months now, right?
Yes.
So you can go back in there, copy all that hashtags that you used for a certain picture that's similar to a picture that you're using right now and post it back up again. That saves you like lots of time.
Yeah, I just started doing that. Like,
awesome, good.
This week, because I was done with the hashtag thing.
Yeah.
I was done. I'm going to get like arthritis or carpal
it takes a
tunnel or something.
long time. Yeah.
So I wanted to save time.
Yep.
For sure. Yeah, that's great advice.
But I recommend changing your hashtags, and here and there, you gotta move them out, and once in a while you gotta go and search for new ones. And I would say maybe do that every like once a month or something, so it doesn't really kill all that time, because we all have families, we all have jobs, right? We all got other crap going on, right? Yeah. Okay, so next one, let's go frequency of posts. So I post 3 times a week.
Okay, I don't. I post more than that.
Okay. No. And if you're just starting, like in the game, what I suggest to people just starting is at least post up at least 5 to 7 times a week. And I would do that for the first year. I did 7 times a week. I would do that every single day. I have a single picture and ready to go. I did that for the first year. I did 7 times a week. And then second year, I went 5 times a week. So I would do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And the reason why I did that was you would look at your insights. So use your insights to your advantage. It tells you what's your peak times when all your followers are on, like what hours to post would be, the best for you, sort of thing, the days. And I noticed for me, the weekends were slow. So I ended up dropping my weekends because, again, like you said, it is a bit crazy and you get a little bit done with Instagram.
Yeah.
But once you start building, then you can start dropping days. So I ended up going to 5 days a week. And then I went Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday because my insights were telling me that those were better days than the weekend.
I was doing only like 3 times a week, and then I went to
Oh, you're
5
down.
times a week.
Yeah.
Then I went to 7. And it honestly depends on what happened that week. So there was this part of February where I had got the same photo featured like 5 times
Yeah.
by big black and white accounts. So that week I kind of did my color photo in the morning to kind of satisfy the people I already had, and would do a black and white at night, and it pulled in a whole bunch of different crowd in.
That's cool.
Yeah, so that worked for me. So if I get a really good feature, I definitely kind of hit it that week.
Yep.
And then I start doing less after that.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. That's a good tip.
Yeah.
Yeah, so for me now, I only do 3 times a week. So I go Monday, Wednesday, Friday, just because it takes me a lot of work. Because another thing that for me, and we could tie this in as well, is engagement. Like that is my number one thing. That if you're trying to build an Instagram account, engagement is by far the best tip I can ever give anybody.
I 100% agree with you.
Yeah. So with me, I post up 3 times a week. I go Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Those are my high days. And what it does is it gives me time to respond to all the comments. So if I post up Monday, I can actually respond on Monday night after work, or I could respond on Tuesday and then get my picture ready for Wednesday. And it goes with Wednesday to goes with Thursday and Friday and so on, right?
Yes.
So that's kind of why I only post 3 times a week. I know some established accounts out there would be more like either once or twice a week. I feel minimum I need is 3, like that you should do is 3. If you start falling off the Instagram path there, you start losing followers too. So
Oh, it's true.
Yeah.
They get used to you. Like my people are used to the time I post, the days I post, which is a lot right now.
Yeah.
But they want to see it.
Yep.
So I think they do.
Yeah. Well, there's so many talented like photographers on here. Like a lot of my followers are so bloody talented, and that's why I have guests like you and other guests that come on, because when I see something in their photos, I'm like, wow, that's amazing. Like the more I interview like Instagrammers, the more other people will learn from this. Like
Yes.
they'll see your photos on there and they'll be like, hey, I can do my photos kind of like that way as well, right?
Yeah. for
Yeah.
sure.
And then you get like other people where I've had Amy on, we were talking about something else, but her photos were amazing. And Carmen does it a different way, and Ashley does it a different way. And it's almost similar, but it's different, and that's what catches my eye, and that's why I have these people on my show. So yeah, I think it's a big learning thing too. So yeah, engagement 100%. So
Yes, it's engagement, using people's names whenever you can.
Yep.
Then you get the same people engaging with you every time, and you build a relationship, like an
Totally.
Instagram relationship
Yeah,
with
totally.
them, and they're your friends.
Yep.
And it's nice to hear from them because it's always positive.
yep.
It's never a negative thing.
Yep.
And who doesn't want that?
Yep. And funny enough, like even when you say stuff like positive, yeah, 100%, most of it's positive. But there are times when I've seen people on stories, or I've seen their feed where maybe they're not that happy that day, or something's going on where I see a negative post, and then I reach out. So I'm usually reaching out and I'm like, you okay? Like we don't really know each other or whatever, but I just want to check in and make sure you're okay, right? Because sometimes maybe somebody's not okay and you're there to be even though an unbiased ear or some stranger, you may make a difference and you don't know.
You're right, and I'm guilty of that, which is a good one. But I just saw a post about this lady, her dog was dying.
Yeah.
I don't know her.
Yeah.
But I sent her a message.
Of
I was
course,
just like, I'm praying for your family, sending love and light.
Yeah.
And she reached back out to me and said, thank you. I mean, sometimes you just need to hear it.
Yeah. And we're human, like we are, right? And, if you're... See, and this is what the people don't get on here, and I've spoken to this with a few people, and I would say all my guests are awesome because they're really the type to give. They're not the ones that are taking all the time, and that's what I try to tell people. You'd be surprised that when you give, you actually get back so much more.
Yeah.
And actually sending these messages to people, like building that engagement, and it's a caring factor, right? It's more about, forget Instagram right now. I just want to see if you're okay, right?
Yeah, especially with everything that we've been through this past year.
Couple of years, year and a bit, yeah.
It's like we needed it more than ever. And that's the thing I have to talk to about people I've never met. It's like, this has been great for me. I was sad. I didn't know what to do. I didn't get to talk to anybody. I was on lockdown.
Yep.
And then you get to talk to some people, and it helps.
Yep.
So for sure, genuine
caring,
caring for somebody.
Yeah. And we all have that commonality about Instagram and photos, right? So, we have something that we can kind of, shoot the shit with, right? And but it's engagement is huge. I think if I like a picture, I genuinely like that picture. I'm not just liking pictures for liking it. There's something that you and I spoke about. If somebody follows me and doesn't like any of my pictures, like they just followed me, and I'll be like, there's no way I'm following you back.
No.
There's no way. Unless I followed you, if I'm following you, I will like a few of your pictures, if not all your pictures, and then I'll back off your page, right? That's what I tell people. Like, if you're trying to get followers, be mindful of who you're following. Because sometimes these accounts out there, if they have like 100,000 followers and they're only following 100 people, they're not going to follow you.
Oh, I follow that rule too.
Yeah. Yeah,
I do.
Yeah, you got to have a nice ratio of follows and unfollows. Not unfollows, followers and the people following you. I would think if I see an account out there that has like 3,000 followers, but they only follow maybe 100 people, I don't follow those people. But if they follow 1,000 or 2,000 or 3,000 people, then I know that they're just as engaged.
Yeah. Well, I look at their engagement.
Yeah. Oh, do you?
I see. Okay. Yeah, I look at to see how they're
responding.
If responding. If
me too.
If they just do a like, I'm like, no. I look at that now. That's actually a more recent thing.
Yeah, I've been doing that as well, for a long time now.
Yeah.
With your hashtags, here's another thing. So if, say for instance, all my your pictures, you do a lot of those like sunset or by the beach pictures, right?
Yes.
And you go into those hashtags, those ones that you used. The best thing to do there is go into a hashtag that you used and look for a picture that's kind of similar to yours.
Okay.
And then when you go into those pictures, you look at all those people that like that photo. So you go into the likes and you start going into each of their accounts. And if you like their stuff, just like them and follow them. The chances of them following you back are pretty high or higher than normal. I shouldn't say pretty high, but higher than normal, because your picture was similar to a picture that they just recently liked.
Oh, okay.
So that's more of like the mind game thing, right? Where it's
this is advanced learning.
Yeah, I'm going deep.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah. So there's a lot of like little tricks that I use, and yeah, definitely. If I post up a photo and it's similar to something else on the hashtag, I'm like, well, if they like that photo, the chances of liking my photo are pretty high. So let's try this and go into the likes of that photo, which I don't even know who the account holder is, but I'll start liking some of the people that are following that person and liking that photo. And a lot of times I would get them to come back and follow me back. So go into those hashtags that you are always using. Like I'm always using hiking hashtags, right? Or Vancouver hashtags. I'm sure Vancouverites here are sick of me because I would go, I'm serious, because I go into their...
That guy.
Yeah, that guy's following me again or whatever, right? But then he unfollows me because I unfollowed you because you never followed me back or you never liked any of my pictures.
Yeah.
So a lot of people, they'll accept my follow, but then they don't do anything back. And I'm like, well, you don't want those unengaged people, right?
Oh, no,
Yeah.
you don't.
Yeah. So those are the ones that are all about promoting themselves, all about take. And honestly, out there, it's better to give than take on here. Trust me on that.
Of course.
Yeah, I've been at this on April 22nd will be my 3rd year on Instagram, and I'm getting 9,000 something followers, and I have, like 1,200 to 2,500 likes per photo. So I think I'm doing the right thing.
You are definitely doing the right thing.
Yeah. So engagement. That's like number one. Then stories. I know stories and reels are really taking off. I only use stories to promote my podcast. I don't really use stories for anything else, and I should. Reels is another thing that's pretty hot these days too, because I think they're trying to, take some of the TikTokers away.
Yes.
But yeah, that's definitely, if you're into that stuff, use it to your advantage.
I use my stories for thank yous if I get featured.
Yeah.
That's like because I always want to thank whoever featured me, even if it's a small account. Like I have a personal account that features my photos. I'll thank them too.
Yep.
Always a good thing to do. But I was telling you earlier, I use it to kind of show a different side of me, the adventurous side,
Yep.
so people could connect with me a little bit better.
Yep, perfect.
Because I do a lot of hiking,
Yep.
but I don't necessarily post those photos. And they see that, and then they ask me questions. Okay, so where did you go? How was that hike? I want to go there. Did you like it? So it's just a different thing for me.
Yeah. No, that's great. You got to use it. And I was talking about this with a restaurateur once, and I was saying, you guys got to promote yourselves on here. Like this is, and I even have another realtor buddy of mine, Jimmy Brockett, there, where he does a lot of stories and stuff like that on here, and good for him, because this is free advertising. Like,
oh yeah,
why would you not use it? So, promote yourself or promote your restaurant. And a good thing for stories on restaurants or anything out there that has to do with the public is show the background stuff. Like if I was a person that owned a restaurant, I would show all, like, how am I dealing with the COVID thing? How am I, like, serving, the food, or how are the cooks cooking? I would show all that on stories, and then promote the restaurant on there as well.
Yeah, making people feel at ease.
Yeah.
Because it's already hard to get out as it is.
Exactly.
And if they want to get out, they feel like they're safe. That's a great idea.
Yep.
Oh.
But no one's doing it, so.
Well, they might now.
Well, they might now. Yeah, you guys can thank me later.
Yeah, that was all. Who said that?
Yeah. Well, why is everyone doing it now? No. But yeah, so that's kind of a thing for definite use. I would use, like, the stories and the reels and stuff. I don't have that much time to do that. I'm more focused on my podcast and trying to give my help to the Instagrammers that are out there with amazing talents and stuff like that, and the local businesses. And I try to bring awareness on stuff too. So I'm more focused on my podcast now than I am for anything else. So yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. So features, getting featured. So to me, I know all the accounts out there hate my guts, because I always say getting featured gets you absolutely no followers. I feel that it depends. Sometimes you get featured and you get followers, and sometimes when you get featured you get nothing. And Alma and I actually talked a little bit about this as well. I stopped tagging accounts out there now. I don't tag anyone anymore. Only once in a blue moon. And it was kind of funny, because before I would care. I would say, wow, this picture is amazing, right? This is going to get featured no matter what. And then when I post it up, it's like crickets, right? Like nobody's featuring anything.
Oh.
And then when I post up a picture that I'm thinking, it's just a mediocre picture, I got featured.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, what the hell? But then, so I kind of stopped, and I would get some followers, but I wouldn't get, like, a ton of followers. There's one person that a buddy of mine on here, M1, she's always featured, and she gets tons of followers from it. But she's always, like, recognized. I call her the feature. She laughs about it, but I call her AKA the feature.
It's funny.
But yeah, the trick with the features are, when you do get featured and you're not getting followers, go into your photo, go into the featured photo of yours, go into the likes, and whoever's not following you, start liking their pictures, because they liked your photo. So go into their account, show some engagement, and see if they follow you back.
Okay, so what do I do? I've noticed that more, if I get featured more locally, like a Instagram page is more local,
Yeah.
I get followers because it's San Diego based.
That's
people.
right. Yeah.
For some reason, the black and white community, I get a lot of followers from that.
Yeah.
It's a whole different ball game. It's changed my feed a lot.
Okay.
I
and black and
always,
white's amazing too. So.
Thank you. It's been fun. What I do when I get featured, anyone who makes a comment on it, even though it's not mine, I thank them. I like, it's my photo. I'm going to thank you. And I get a lot of followers from that.
Yep. Yep.
And I haven't taken as far as to go into their accounts. It just depends.
Yeah.
If they follow me, then I'll go into their accounts and like stuff and
Yeah.
follow them too. So, yeah. So that's what I do with features. So it's kind of hit or miss. I'll be honest with you.
But you, like I said, I can guarantee you will gain followers just from the people that aren't following you. And then if you go in there because they already like your feature photo, that you're drawing them to your page. So you have to give them some engagement and show them that, you know, that you like their photos. And if you don't like their photos, don't bother, right?
Yeah, that's a good idea for sure.
Yeah. So another one is editing photos. So that's another thing I can suggest. And I'm trying to cram all these tips into one episode here. And I have probably a bunch more that we're not going to talk about, but be on a future episode. But edit photos. Like, I think you got to frame your photos and make sure it's like flat. It's not crooked. It's not like, you know, tilted and slanted in any way unless you meant for it to be that way. But you have to make sure your picture is lined up with everything. That's one tip that I like to give.
If the horizon is off, I can't.
Yeah, right?
Real quick funny story. I had just posted a photo and I got a bunch of likes and I realized my horizon was off like a little bit.
Yeah.
I was like, no. I'm mortified by this. Because I hate, that's like one of my pet peeves.
Yeah, me too.
And then it got featured. So then it made it even worse because I'm like, now everyone's going to see it.
Yeah.
And be like, why did that get featured? Her horizon's off like a smidge.
Yeah.
I was just talking about that this morning with a friend. So,
that's funny. A smidge is okay, but when it's like when it looks like the sun's going to be rolling down the horizon there, that's not right. Like
it's rolling down the hill.
It's rolling down a horizon hill there. So no, I don't like that at all. A smidge is okay. That's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the other thing is you want to make your photos pop. Our phones out there and our cameras out there, they're not very, like, they don't give it the true natural color sometimes. So you got to make your pictures pop out a little bit. That means bumping up the little bit of the colors, and don't over saturate it or, you know, put too much color in there, because then it looks fake. But then when you're wanting to, sometimes when you do that to make a color look nice, it's okay too, just to make it look like that way. You can actually bump up the colors like super crazy and then make it look really, really different. And that kind of gives it a different look too. But for the most part, what you want to do is what you see with the natural eye. So I used to, and I was telling Alma earlier, I used to be a manager of a photo lab that used to take care of all the Hollywood productions. And I was kind of the color guy. I was the special colors guy. So I always like to bump my colors up just to the point where I would see how it would look like naturally.
Yes. I think at the beginning I called myself a purist and I wouldn't do anything.
Yeah.
Well, that didn't help. But as I've developed, I definitely am editing better and giving more color to my photos. But I agree with you on the other part. I don't like the overly done photos.
No.
But a lot of people do like that.
Yep.
A lot.
Yeah.
I've noticed that.
Yeah.
I don't. I want it to be as close to natural as possible.
Me too. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's my own preference.
Yeah.
And we have beautiful skies here in California. You don't have to do a lot.
No.
So, but yeah, I agree with you on that as well.
But once in a while, it's kind of neat to play with a photo, like just pop the colors like crazy on one thing, right? And like maybe the reds are like super popped or something. Sometimes it's kind of turns the picture kind of really neat. Yeah. And but I'm not a fan of that either. Like once in a blue moon, I would take away some of my colors and darken the clouds or something like super dark, and then it looks like kind of like Gotham, right? And I like that too. But that's only once in a blue moon for me. It doesn't happen often. But I would strongly suggest trying to keep to the most natural of colors, with a little bit of popping and a little bit of like brightening of the photo. That's my tip, and it seems to, you know, draw attention to the eye of your viewers, I guess, or your followers, and that's kind of what I can give as a tip.
Yes, that's a good tip, and it takes practice.
Yeah.
In your editing, so
yeah. Now it only takes me, and I kid you not, maybe less than a minute to edit my photos. So I just use the phone app. It's really easy.
Which one?
For Samsung, it's just the photo editor in the Samsung. But and sorry Samsung, but you guys kind of screwed it up with the updates recently. You guys used to have really good editing app that you can change the colors a little bit and add more color. Now they took that away, so I'm actually using Lightroom now.
I love Lightroom.
Yeah.
I go back and forth sometimes between Lightroom and Snapseed. It just depends on what I'm trying to do.
Yeah.
And I use them both sometimes on one photo. So.
Yeah. No, that's great. That's a great tip too. Do you have any other tips that you want to share?
Oh, I don't know.
Putting you on the spot here.
I can't remember what I already said.
So we said public account, make your thing public, have a nice profile picture, change your handle name to make it more a little catchy. We talked about hashtags. We talked about frequency of post. We talked about engagement, how to use stories and reels, who to follow, who not to follow. We talked about editing photos.
Editing, yeah. I can't think of anything else except for be real.
Yeah, be real.
Just be real with people. Just be a good person, like you said.
Yep.
Be nice. Reach out to people. The same stuff we talked about.
Yeah.
Not everyone's going to be like that, but...
No. Like I said, they'll be surprised at how much they get back when they give. So it's about like liking photos. It's about actually like really liking photos genuinely, right? And actually going, hey, good job. And if someone's taking great pictures, tell them.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Yeah, what the hell is wrong with telling them? I don't see anything wrong with it. I always say, hey, no, great shot, man, or, you know, that was a beautiful shot. So,
yes.
Yeah.
I just, as gentleman's been following me, but he disables his comments.
Okay.
He takes amazing photos.
Yeah.
So yesterday I finally messaged him and I said, I have to say this one time.
Yeah.
You take amazing photos. Just to let him know.
Yeah.
I didn't know if he's going to unfollow me or something. He was very grateful.
I doubt
They're
it.
like, oh, what, stalker?
No.
But I let him know. I guess one tip for me would be, I don't follow everyone back. There's a lot to that. It's maybe I don't personally want to follow someone who just takes pictures of themselves.
No, I get it.
I kind of want to stick to the same, like landscape, things like that.
Yeah, same commonalities.
Yes, I don't want to follow accounts, like you said, that have hundreds of thousands of people and only follow 2.
Yeah.
But I really limit it because I want to be able to actually see everyone's stuff. And if I have too many people I'm following, I can't get to everybody.
Yeah.
I want to like your photo, comment on it. And I don't know if it's going to always stay that way, but that's kind of where I limit that for sure. So I'm building a relationship with smaller groups of people.
Yeah, I agree. I used to follow just whatever back in the day, and now it's like, you know, if you're on my page and you do a lot of selfies, but you know you've supported me in the past, and yeah, you're still on my page. But for the most part, now I don't follow anyone that just does selfies of himself all the time. That's the same with me too.
I've noticed that someone that follows me has been like following all my people.
Oh, yeah.
Anybody who makes a comment, they follow that person.
Yeah.
Because they know that they're going to get engagement from
exactly.
that, so.
Yeah. That's a little trick as well too. So yeah, and don't feel like they're stealing off you. I get it too, because I know a lot of my followers do that with me. But that's okay. It's like I said, you know, give, right?
Oh, no. I just noticed. I was like, well, I never really did that before. So.
Oh, good tip.
Yeah, good tip there. I'm learning on. As long as you're engaging with me, I'm okay with it.
Yeah. And you know, here's another trick too. What I noticed is when you go into some accounts, like I would go into, Here's a funny thing. So when I go into some accounts and I see that they got over 10,000 followers or they got 20,000 followers, and then I'm like, oh, that's awesome, right? And I look at their content, I'm like, oh yeah, it's not bad. And then when you look at their likes, they're not even cracking 1,000 likes. So if you have 10,000 followers and you can't get 1,000 likes, or 15,000 followers or 20,000 followers and you can't get 1,000 likes, that tells me your engagement game is shit.
I've been noticing that too. I'm like, why do you only have 200 likes? You have like 8,000 followers.
Yeah. So you would see who the genuine ones are out there. Like if you have an account that has 4,000 or 5,000 followers and they're getting 1,000 likes, that's 20%, right? Or 25% engagement right there. And what does that tell you? That tells me that that person is really engaged with their followers and they have good content.
Yeah.
Right?
I have to like your stuff though too, because I've noticed like someone gets a lot of likes and comments, but it was a bunch of cat pictures. I don't want that.
Yeah. No, agreed.
I love cats. Nothing wrong with cats.
Yeah.
It's just that's not kind of where I'm specialized in my type of photography. It's not about animals. So.
Yeah. I chuck my Scooby pictures once in a while, and that turkey gets a lot of likes, so it's fine.
That's it. Scooby's cute, so you should do that.
Yeah, he's a booger. I put him on once in a while. Well, that's all the tips I can give for now. I'm sure I forgot a whole bunch that I'll probably address on a future episode, and hopefully these tips help you guys out. And thank you, Alma, for being my co-host and listening.
You're welcome. I learned a lot today too. So appreciate it.
You gave some nice tips as well. So perfect. This is what I wanted to do a little bit of a refresher for everyone out there. Okay, well, thanks again for joining me, Alma. Again, don't forget to hit the subscribe, like, and notification buttons, and I'll catch you guys next week. Thanks.